Welcome to SVG-TV's Tuesday, November 19th edition of the Evening News and Sports. I'm KAHLIL with the details. The government's annual payout of a $500 cash gift to successful students at the CSEC and CAPE examinations began here today. Some 606 students are expected to benefit this year, which is a 15% increase over last year's figure. Those who met the requirements include 337 students who gained 5 passes inclusive of mathematics and English at the CXC examinations and 289 for the A-level CAPE examination. The total payout to students this year is said to have amounted to 300,000 EC dollars. At the handing over ceremony at the community college earlier today, Prime Minister Dr. Gonsalves says it is being suggested that his government raise the bar for those who will be eligible for the $500 cash gift.
I was thinking that perhaps you may say that we should only give the $500, for instance, at CXC if you have all your subjects minimum 2s, or perhaps even better to say that you get at least 3 1s. You can think about that and advise me. I put that for your consideration. And those for the CAPE, you shouldn't get less than a 3. And at GCE, maybe you shouldn't get less than a C or maybe a D. C. Well, advise us on that.
Dr. Gonsalves also spoke of the new Acer laptops, which will be handed out to students in January next year, and pledges his government's commitment to deepening its education revolution.
At the moment, we spend about 28% of the recurrent budget for the recurrent expenditure on education. In 2000, it was around 20%. The number which we have is one of the highest anywhere in the Caribbean as a percentage of recurrent expenditure. And then, of course, we have significant capital expenditure. Here alone, we spent $32 million to provide 80,000 square feet of additional space to give you all the facilities that we have here. There are 1 or 2 things which we have to finish up here, and we are meeting the leadership of the college. I think it's on the 29th. I'm meeting the leadership on the morning of the 29th to discuss some of the matters concerning the college.
Dr. Gonsalves. Chief Executive Officer of the local tourism authority, Glen Beache, has announced that Germany's 2nd largest airline has expressed interest in flying to SVG. This announcement was made at a media conference yesterday by Beache, who outlines that the airline will boost the number of tourists coming to SVG from Germany and other European countries.
Germany is a big market in the Caribbean. We've actually been out of Germany for a while now because of the lack of air service, obviously, from Germany into St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The only destination in the Caribbean that Air Berlin flies into right now is Cuba. So if we're the 2nd one and the first English-speaking Caribbean, it would bode well for St. Vincent and the Grenadines if we can get them in here. It would also mean that we would have to find ourselves back in Germany marketing St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
For the first time, SVG has been placed in one of the largest dive operators catalogs in the United States, Caradonna. This was another announcement made by Beache, who outlined that some of the properties featured in the catalog are Young Island, Tamarind Beach Hotel, Bookament Bay, and Palm Island.
These are some of the properties that have been working with the dive operators here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and the dive market is a huge one that we really want to push even more. It's always been one of our main niche markets, but it is something that we'd like to push even more in the future. It's arguably our second largest niche market after the yachting and sailing. And so we're happy to do this with Caradon. As a matter of fact, when Bookama, Mr. Dave Ames was actually at Demon too. And when he saw it, he didn't even know Bookama was in it.
Beache says it is his hope that other establishments in SVG will follow suit to work along with the various dive operators here to promote their business.
It's important for us to have these dive packages together. And you know, divers, the one thing about divers is even if there's a recession, when it comes to quality diving, they are always willing to spend that money to go for quality diving. And as a matter of fact, we're actually looking at rebranding our diving now and putting a special focus on the diving to push it forward even more. You know, Bill Hughes from Dive St. Vincent and the Grenadines has always been a great ambassador to St. Vincent and the Grenadines in terms of diving. And he used to tag us as the critter capital of the Caribbean. And while that was great, and as I said, he did a lot of work, I think it has kind of put us in a rut where we're only seen as critter, as a destination for critter diving, which is not the case.
Sherwin Peters of the St. Vincent Grammar School is the winner of the 2013 Tourism Youth Congress. Peters, who debated a number of tourism-oriented topics, both prepared and impromptu, emerged out front from among 6 other competitors at the event held earlier today. The other participating schools in the competition were the Mountain View Academy, Bethel High, St. Martin Secondary, North Union, West St. George, and Beckway Community High. Senator Luke Browne commended the participating students and expressed the importance of policymakers attending forums of this nature.
Kind of ideas that were on show this morning, if you will, ideas which would help us to improve the product that we offer to our tourists when they come. I enjoyed quite well the topics, and I thought the topics were essential. The topics which came in the sort of impromptu session here, and also the 2 topics on which the students spoke in used for their prepared presentation.
Browne added that one of the topics which stood out to him was on multi-generational travel, and the way it could be facilitated.
Very well that St. Vincent is a plural destination, and when we have multiple points of attraction, we're also going to have multi-generational travel. Now this might be travel within one family, because a family could come all together, or it might be travel by several different families, individuals who are in the preteen cohort and who are teenagers and who are young adults and who are then parents and grandparents could travel collectively, or they could come on their own. So we need to pay attention to some of what was said in relation to and problems which get in the way of us developing competitiveness in that area.
This country's government is bringing Christmas benefits to a number of persons here. That story and other local stories when the SVG-TV Evening News continues. Welcome back. A number of persons here are in line to benefit financially from several special Christmas projects to be undertaken by the government. Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves told the media yesterday that a total of 70 persons will be employed at the Port Authority as part of the Christmas Barrel Special. He adds that preparatory works are also now being done for the Christmas road cleaning project, for which he has allocated some $2.5 million to BRAGSA.
For persons who work in patching roads, we have 2 containers of bitumen. I've given them $1 million, $500,000 for labor for each of those 2 containers which they have to do some patching here and there. I had earlier in October, at the end of October, taken care of the public servants with a 1.5% back pay. Now is the time for me to make sure that persons who depend on 10 days to help them around Christmas time, even though some of them may even do a little farming in between, some may be housewives, we know how that goes. Those who do some patching, who have their little teams would get something out of the million.
Last Friday, the Best 9 Mornings community for the last 4 years career joined the activities for the 100 Days Countdown to the 9 Mornings National Festival. The celebration in Career featured a number of performances and the official launch of 2 Christmas boxes for the less fortunate. Kristin John-Deane has more in this report.
The community of Career lit up on Friday night as the Christmas season draws close, and particularly the official 9 Mornings Festival, which commences on December 16th. The coordinator of the Career 9 Mornings Committee, Jennifer Richardson, boasts of Career being the leading 9 Mornings and Christmas community in SVG.
No offense at all to my friends from Northeast. Thank you all for coming. The village of Career has been involved in organized 9 Mornings for the last 11 years. Prior to that, certainly in my early years, 9 Mornings in this village was a fact in the back room of a shop, and yours truly on many occasions played the role of DJ in our own 9 Mornings fact. Today, we have long moved away from that, and I must admit that what we have currently is far superior to what we had back then.
Making his presentation at last Friday's event, Vincentian author Cecil Williams said the 9 Mornings celebration, now in its 100th year, has developed over the years.
I think it was around in the late 1990s that we had formed. There was the committee formed, and so you had it on a formal basis, organized basis. Before that, it was not that organized. It was informal. People went and did a number of things. We heard from the gentleman just now in Career, you had fetes. People used to go down into Mespo.
The Career 9 Mornings Festival featured a number of performances, including presentations from Carlton City Hall, the Women's and the Rose Hall drummers. There was also a tight pants competition. This year's 9 Mornings Festival is being commemorated under the theme Celebrating 100 Years of Unique Vincentian Tradition. Kristin John-Deane reporting for SVGTV News.
Another launching also took place last Friday, this time in Kingstown. Telecommunications giant Lime launched its 2013 Christmas promotion centered around the theme Share the Cheer. Speaking at the corporate cocktail launch at Lime's main building in Kingstown, the company's marketing representative Nicola Williams says there is much more in store from Lime to ensure that Christmas 2013 is exceptional for Vincentians, adding that Lime promises to make the Christmas season an exciting one.
One of the special projects that we're going to be embarking on also is making sure we finish the refurbishing of the hospital playground. So we have lots of things planned this Christmas, lots of things to do. We're going to be quite busy, and with all that, we're going to be keeping you fully entertained and providing you with the services and the value you deserve.
And in sharing the Christmas cheer, Romaine Reed walked away the envy of the night after being selected as the winner of a brand new Samsung Galaxy S4.